Today I'm going to be attempting to survive 100 days in Minecraft Hardcore on a mod pack called All the Mod 6. It is a huge mod pack that adds a whole bunch of new mods, to be exact 280 of them, that add a whole bunch of new stuff to the game. So much stuff I could make an entire video mentioning what they added to the game. Without further ado, it's time to load up a Minecraft All the Mod 6 Hardcore world and survive 100 days. Also, if you could leave a like on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. First thing I did is pretty predictable if you have played Minecraft Survival for any amount of time. I punched wood. Except I punched wood on a weird tree. Not just a normal tree, but a weird one. Then made a crafting table and some sticks, then did the standard get some stone for some stone tools. Then in a local above ground stone cave, I found some inferium ore and decided to mine it. I have no idea what it's for. I also found some aluminum. I also have zero clue what that's for as well. Maybe I can make some Minecraft aluminum foil. Then I decided to go on a boat ride and spotted this. I thought it was a chest, but it apparently is a bee's nest that turned green. A few minutes later, I spotted some familiar spruce trees and decided to cut them down. Due to the lack of food, I decided to go over and harvest some berries. They aren't good, but they at least will do the job for now. Also, apparently oak trees grow fruit. For example, this oak tree is growing pawpaw fruit. I'm not sure what it's for, but it sounds quite interesting and I want to harvest it in the future. In a small ravine, next to some lava, I found some coal and decided to mine it. This vein of coal had a lot of coal, so that was good because night is about to fall. Hello, pigs. Due to night was falling, I decided to dig down and make a staircase so I can hide from the mobs and get some materials like iron armor. Though it's quite dark in here, so that's where the coal comes in handy so I can make some torches. Also, there is a mod that adds waypoints and mini-maps, so I made a waypoint back to the mine so I don't get lost. After getting a few bits of stone, I made a furnace and started cooking up some pork chops. Then went mining and ran into a weird ore that's called Vintium ore. Apparently it needs an iron pickaxe to be mined. It looks like lapis almost, except the lapis can be mined with the stone pickaxe. Finally something useful and familiar, iron ore, so now I can make some iron armor. Then I mined into another new ore called tin ore. Then I mined into some sort of black substance. I don't know what it is, but it looks like oil or something along that line, maybe tar, but I don't think tar would be in Minecraft, so it's probably oil. Then I got the iron out of the furnace and started making some iron armor, to be exact iron pants. Day 1 has arrived and I said hello to some cows. Then noticed on the map it almost looks like there's a village nearby, so I walked over and guess what? It's a village. Though it barely has any food in it besides pumpkins, so I walked back to my house. Then I decided to look at the pick section of the crafting recipes, and I found this pickaxe. It's made out of an Obsidian vibranium alloy ingot pickaxe, or at least that's what it's made out of. If you're asking if I got the pronunciation correct, I don't even know where to start with it. Then I carved out a small area and put my bed down and went to bed for the second night. On day 1 I found a diamond. To be exact, 4 diamonds. Day 1 has already come to an end, so it's time to go to bed and get on to day 2. If you're wondering where I got the bed, I got it from the village if you're wondering. Petrified ore looks quite neat. Looks almost like slime. I ran across a medium-sized cave. It had a creeper in it and it also looked quite neat, so I decided to ignore the cave and just dig under it. Though I ran across a mini lava lake, though it wasn't a big deal at all. I got through it just fine. Then I went to bed and got on to day 3. I don't have much footage for day 3 because not much interesting happened, so let's go on to day 4. On day 4, something interesting happened. What is it, you might be wondering? Well, I ran into a humongous cave. When I mean a humongous cave, I mean probably the largest lava lake I've ever seen in Minecraft. It also has a diamond in it. Now my challenge is to get that diamond. I think this cave looks quite amazing. I made a bucket, grabbed some water, and went to bed again to get on to day 5. Somehow it took me an entire day to make a bucket. I don't know how, but it did. Then with that water, I turned the lava into obsidian, and then I mined the diamond safely. Then I found a mob spawner. It was red. It made some noise and it spawned about 5 zombies. Then the mob spawner completely disappeared, which is quite weird. Then when I was running away from the zombies, I ran over the bridge I made over lava, and a skeleton hit me. I almost fell into the lava and unalive, so that was quite nice that I didn't. Goodbye, Mr. Zombie. In a side cave, I found another diamond. In the same lava lake, I found another diamond. Before I could get the diamond, I had to take on a skeleton. So I almost died when taking the skeleton on due to there was a hole in the ground with lava in it that I had to jump over by mistake. Somehow I didn't fall into it, which is quite nice. And it had several diamonds in it as well, though I made a slight derp. I wasn't standing in the path the diamond would go if it was in the water, and instead the diamond went into the lava instead of in my inventory. After that I made a small wall so the diamonds don't go into the lava, then I mined them. Then on day 5 I decided to celebrate by making myself a diamond chestplate. I don't have enough diamonds for anything else besides a pair of diamond boots, but I want to use my diamonds for a diamond pickaxe instead. To start off day 6, I harvested some nutmeg and some soursop fruit. I have actually never heard of that. Have you ever heard of soursop fruit? If you thought that was all the fruit gathering, no, there's more. I gathered some plums as well, and also an entire spruce tree worth of logs as well. Then I got tired of wasting food by going up and down the staircase to the mine, so I added some stairs in so it uses less hunger. Somehow I managed to get that done quite fast. Then I went to bed to get on to day 7. At the start of day 7, I ran over to the local village to take a bed, so I can have one when I'm down mining. I didn't find anything too interesting down in the mines, but here is a clip of me mining uranium. What I'm hoping for is to at least get a full set of diamond armor before I start doing a bunch of stuff above the surface, just to make the risk of other mobs less. For a few minutes I was looking at the backpacks and seeing what the sizes are I can get, and it seems I need some leather for a backpack. It turns out I can make leather out of rotten leather, and it turns out I can make rotten leather out of rotten flesh. And that brings me to the end of day 7, so I went to bed and got on to day 8. I got more inferium and I decided to look up what you can do with it. Apparently you can make a inferium chestplate, except the chestplate is made with a diamond chestplate and some inferium, and the diamond chestplate has the exact same stats as the inferium one, so what's the point of making an inferium chestplate or armor? Later in the day of day 8, I decided to go back to the surface to try to find some leather, or at least some sort of animal, because I have not found a single animal, and I ran across this weird floating globe thing. It's very weird and it's not really a thing at all. I can punch at it all I want and nothing happens. I decided to have a sleepover at this generous villager's house. On to day 9. For all of day 9, I did some traveling around the world and found absolutely nothing living besides villagers. No cows, no sheep, no pigs, nor chickens as well, which is quite weird. Here's another weird thing. I came across this. It looks like a ruined well and it has some emeralds inside of it. I will leave the emeralds where they are, but it looks like it would have a loot chest in it, but it certainly doesn't have one as far as I can tell. To end off day 9, I went over and hoed some ground and planted some potatoes and wheat seeds on it. Good morning, day 10. At the start of day 10, I went over and made a small little lake in a hole in the ground. Then planted some sugarcane next to it. Fun fact, sugarcane used to be called reeds in older versions of Minecraft. Then I went mining for the rest of day 10, and I also found some diamonds, which is amazing. How many, you might ask? Well, the answer is 5. Just kidding, 6. On to day 1. I found some neat ore called Circus Ore. Got no clue what it's for currently, but it looks quite nice, so I'm gonna take it. Cinnabar looks quite nice as well. I will take it as well. It almost looks like emeralds, except they're red. Due to there's so many items and ores and blocks under the ground, I keep having to go back up and emptying my inventory out. To be exact, I have to empty it out after about 5 minutes of mining. I decided to use 7 diamonds to make myself some diamond leggings. I was curious what kind of smelters there was, and I saw a smeltery. So I looked up the crafting recipe, and it was quite easy to make, so I made a smeltery. Then I dug out a small room for it. When placing it down, it says you have to have a town hall first! Exclamation point, which makes it apparently serious. So I searched up the crafting recipe for a town hall, and it's quite easy, so I made a town hall. We suggest using the build tool to place this schematic. This will allow you to adjust the position. Use build tool. Oh my, this is big. Instead, I tried to place it outside, and it said the build order for XZ is outside the colony and thus cannot be built! Exclamation point, which apparently means it's serious as well. And apparently I can make a inferium furnace, but after about 5 minutes of messing around with the crafting recipe inside of there, I realized it uses some blocks that I actually don't know how to get at all. So that idea is scrapped for now, which that brought me back down to the mines to do some more mining, and that brought me on to day 1 dozen. I mined all the way through day 12, bringing me on to day 13. At the start of day 13, I mined some dry ice and marble. I am planning on using them as building blocks for the future house. Then I was curious what this stone wand was for, so I made one. And it seems to be working like the better building wand. If you're wondering what that does, basically it places down more than 1 block at a time. So you can place 5 blocks down or 10 blocks down at a time. It makes building big things quite a lot faster than building normally with your hands. Then I went back down to the mines and found some more diamonds. To be exact, 4 diamonds. It could have been 8 diamonds, but 4 diamonds is more than nothing. And that brings me on to day 14. I was looking for better, faster picks, and I ran across this one. It is a silver pickaxe. It is supposed to be faster than a diamond pickaxe, and I think I have some silver sitting around, so I will make it and see how good it is. Yeah, I'd say it has a decent speed. Then it's time to go down a rabbit hole, trying to make myself a obsidian helmet, which is made out of obsidian ingots, which is made out of obsidian with iron, which is made out of a block of obsidian with 4 ingots. And apparently the obsidian boots and helmet are better than diamond boots and helmet, so I'm gonna make those. So I made a diamond pickaxe and went obsidian mining, and also spotted some diamonds I missed, so I had to go over and mine them, and this is a vein of 8, which is our first vein of 8 in this entire episode. Now I can make the obsidian with iron and toss it into the furnace and melt it into obsidian ingots. Now I can make the obsidian helmet and boots. You might be wondering, why didn't I make the leggings and chestplate? Well, those are actually worse than diamond, but for some reason the helmet and boots are better. Nice. Day 14 was a long day, but that brings me on to day 15. I woke up to a NPC in my front yard, holding a bow and arrow, so I decided to leave it alone and go back down. I saw a squeezer as something I can craft. I'm not sure what it's for, but I crafted a squeezer, and now it will just sit in the corner and collect dust. I wanted to make a obsidian pickaxe, so I went back down and mined some more obsidian. After making obsidian with iron and melting it into obsidian ingots, I made myself a obsidian pickaxe. And it has 2,800 uses, which is a lot more than a regular netherite pickaxe has. A netherite pickaxe just slightly has over 2,000 uses. Then I went to bed to get on to day 16. Somehow I managed to miss going to bed on day 16, so actually it's day 17. In the morning of day 17, I looked through how to make a backpack and decided that, you know, I'm gonna set on a journey to make a backpack, because I could use a backpack while I'm mining or doing other stuff, because there are so many blocks in this game. And for this backpack, you need some string, some wool, and some leather. I have 0 leather currently, as well as 0 string, and as well as 0 wool. So I need to set off and get those items. On the journey, I found some crude oil, and this big place. I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I looked under it, and there was a room, and it also had a couple chests in it. It had some items. I don't know what the items are for, but it did have some interesting modded items. I also came across this, a tree that grows spider webs, literally. You wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it, and here you go, you're seeing it, a tree that grows spider webs. Fun fact, llamas can be used for leather, so I got some llama leather so I can use it for a backpack. I found some shortened sugarcane with some blue pixels on top of it called wild flax plant. It looks quite weird. I found another one of these marble well looking things. There seems to be nothing under it, so I just left it alone. I went to bed in the middle of a field, which brings me on to day 19, where I ran across this thing. It looks like if somebody went over and dumped a bunch of alphabet soup in a different language all over the ground. I explored so much I found the ocean, and haven't even run across a single cow. So now I'm just shearing some sheep. I sheared sheep so long the sun fell and I had to go back to bed and get on to day 20. Where guess what? You wouldn't believe it. I sheared more sheep. Isn't that exciting? No? Okay. But that's not all I did on day 20. I stared at this for a few minutes and then headed back to my house. Well, I almost did, but I got distracted by the tree that grows spider webs. Apparently they can be fully grown spider webs, so I'm going to sit here until one of them is fully grown. If you bone meal it, you get string. But what if you have a fully grown one and break it? Will you get a string tree seed or something? Somehow I spent almost an entire day watching spider webs grow on a tree. Here's the moment of truth. You just get string. Oh, hello there. What are you? A plague doctor? Apparently it has a bunch of stuff for sale for emeralds, except I don't have any emeralds, so this is quite useless. I made the small backpack, and it's actually not small, it's actually quite large. I was expecting it to hold as much as a dropper or a hopper, and this definitely outdid what I was thinking, so that's amazing. By the way, it's now day 21. From day 21 to 43, there will be no game audio. The reason there is no audio is because I was streaming, and the music wouldn't fit in the video. At the start of day 22, I harvested some oranges off my orange tree, then bumped the button and Minecraft threw me an error message. Then I harvested and planted down some more sugarcane. Another one of those weird floating things. I wanted to make a door, and I found a door that was pretty much all made of glass, so I decided to mine some glass and make the glass door. While mining glass, it became dark, so I went to bed and got on to day 23. Awesome, now I just had to go over and make a small little house on top of the surface so I can put a door in. I built that and I didn't like it, so I tore the front of it off and expanded it a little bit more. And also got some more leather from a nearby llama. This wandering trader seems to be selling a pretty good sword, though it's not worth 64 diamonds to say the least. I think it looks nice, but it's not big enough because I want to have 2 doors on instead of just one. So I tore the front of it off and rebuilt it again. This time, 2 rats looked like they tried to attack me, which is weird. Day 25, ahoy! It looks like the rat likes the smell of the cobblestone. Boom, the door's in, and boom goes the creeper. But I think the super small little shack turned out pretty good. It has a glass door in it and has an iron door in it, just to make sure nothing can get through. I think it's quite quite safe in there now. I wanted to make a mob farm and wondered if I can get a automatic farming block, and it seems I can with some spikes. And apparently the spikes drop experience as well, which is quite amazing, so I think I will use those, except they use 1 iron block and 3 iron swords per single spike, and I need 4 of those, so that uses a truckload of iron. Helpful tip of the episode: if you are trying to cut down some super tall trees like tall oak trees, tall spruce trees, tall jungle trees, etc., just pillar up with some sand and cut the tree from the top down. And getting rid of the sand is easier than getting rid of scaffolding blocks once you get used to it, because you don't have the scaffolding blocks landing all over the leaves of the tree and whatnot. What you do is you break the bottom sand block and put a torch under it, or a slab, or a button, and have the sand fall on it and break. It's pretty fast and it saves a lot of time. Most of day 26 I was cutting trees down. I wanted a obsidian axe because my iron axe was about to break, so I made myself an obsidian axe by mining 3 obsidian, and making the obsidian axe exactly how I made the obsidian pickaxe and obsidian feet and obsidian helmet. There seems to be never-ending diamonds in this cave. Hello and welcome to the show. This is day 27. Obsidian axe. I chopped some more trees down. Goodbye, sand. I swinged my axe so hard it put me onto a new day. Now I'm on to day 27. I mean 28. I wanted to make a mob farm to get some rotten flesh, so I looked around to see how much iron I had, and I only had 22. So I decided to go down to the mines and mine for some iron to get around 120 iron, because that's about the minimum I will need. Iron. I was wondering if there was a way to double my ores by smelting it in a special furnace, and I know there is, but I don't know how to set it up. It's from Tinker's Construct. But I ran across this furnace. It's called a redstone furnace, and I decided to make it because it looks quite neat. On to day 29. One of the things the furnace needs includes clay, so I gathered some clay. It also needs copper, so I started exploring to see if I can find some copper. Instead of finding copper, I found diamonds. I also came across a humongous cave that had a wolf in it. Or 2. Goodbye, creeper number 1 and number 2, and also hello, garden gnome thingamabobber. I got attacked by a wrath. It didn't do much damage, but it turned my hearts a weird color and gave me a chill effect, which seems to do absolutely nothing besides change my heart color to a different color.
Day 31 has arrived. Make sure to slap that like button.
That sounded very weird, but on the start of day 31, I showed a zombie my obsidian axe. I think it liked it. But before I even make a new clip, I got attacked by this speedy wolf, or werewolf of some sort. It just runs around and just basically spawns mad wolves everywhere. It's very weird. It was quite strong, but I took it down anyway, and I also ran over and hid it inside my little house. After that, I harvested some more oranges off my orange tree. Even after all that exploration in the caves, I still had no copper. So I decided to take a look at the higher caves in the higher elevation of the world and explored this higher end ravine, and it had no copper in it as well. Interesting, turns out these little flowers are actually berries. Then I decided to dig in a straight line on level 44, and guess what? I immediately found copper, and I continuously found copper at level 44. So it turns out level 44 is the best place to find copper. Who would have known? There it is, the redstone furnace machine. I had and still have no idea how it works. I thought it would use like a redstone lever or something, but it doesn't. It uses some sort of RF thing. I have no clue what an RF is, but that's something to say the least to figure out later. Sorry, brand new redstone machine, you're just gonna be sitting in the corner collecting dust for now. Now it's time to start working on the mob farm, and to prevent myself from falling down and unaliving, I'm covering the entire surrounding area on the ground with water, just so I don't go splat like I did in the last 100 days video. Then I started working on the drop chute of the mob farm. It was quite easy, just a 2x2 little hole in the ground basically, or hole in the sky, or something like that. 2x2 going 24 blocks up. There's no third person time lapse here because there is no Forge replay mod. There's only a fabric replay mod, and all the mod 6 is on Forge. This is just your standard darkroom mob spawner with some water trails going down into a big ditch. After this video, if you want to take a look at how to build this, I have a tutorial in the description below. Day 35, I ran out of cobblestone and went mining for some more cobblestone and came across this lava lake, and I fell in. Not once, but twice, so that wasn't very ideal, and I actually almost died from the fire damage. I went down to about 1.5 hours, so that's the closest I've been so far this time. Next time I'm putting water down and turning the lava into obsidian instead of going over and just building over it. Day 36 came around, and I was still down in the mines mining for some more cobblestone. It seems the most efficient way to get cobblestone is just to dig out a big groove. room. Because there is so many new ores in this mod pack, you're just gonna have a full inventory just by mining in a straight line. But if you just dig out a room, you can just mine the cobblestone and ignore the ores. Day 37. To start off day 37, I harvested some more oranges. Right after harvesting some oranges, I went right to work on the mob farm again. Luckily, in this mod pack, there is a better building wand, which basically places down more blocks at once, like I mentioned earlier, and it really helped out building this mob farm. Good morning, day 38. Remember earlier when I said I would need around 120 bits of iron? Well, that is currently what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get myself a whole bunch of iron because I need 120 bits of iron, and I apparently just don't have enough iron, so it requires me to go mining. Day 38 or 39 question mark, I have went back into the mines and went into a big humongous cave, the one I lit up earlier, and I found this skeleton that has some netherite armor on, except it isn't netherite armor, it has a different name and it looks like netherite, so should it be considered netherite? Probably not. But yeah, the skeleton had pretty strong armor, and it's not quite as good as diamond, but it's still quite good, so that was quite neat. Hello, iron! I went to bed on day question mark to get up on day question mark to go and continue iron hunting. Yes, I'm putting question marks instead of actually saying the day name because I currently have no idea what day that was and is, but soon I will figure it out. I went to bed and woke up, and apparently it's day 39, not day 40. Or day 38, because why would it be? So yeah, it's day 39, so I don't know how I got today's mixed up, but that's weird. Okay, let's ignore that. After that, I finally got the iron, and I finally decided to go over and start making the iron spikes. And to make the iron spikes, you need 12 swords that are iron. And somehow I managed to get exactly 12 empty slots in my inventory without even trying. Then I just made the spikes, and it was done. But that was quite satisfying. Not having to dump anything extra out of my inventory. It was just perfect. I also found this hopper made out of 3 obsidian, a hopper, and a vendor. It apparently picks up items just basically wireless within a 343 square block area, 7 by 7 by 7. I think it looks quite nice, but I can't make it no matter what at this current moment. I also came across this weird little snowman thing. It basically shoots those weird guardian lasers at you. It's not really doing any harm, though I'm not really letting it do anything if it were to try to do anything, so that's quite weird. After that, I started work on the collection system by going over and putting the chests down, the hoppers down, the rails down, the hopper minecarts down, and of course you can't forget the 4 spikes. Then I finished the mob farm by going over and putting a cobblestone roof on it, and thanks to the wand of building, or the builder's wand, putting the roof on was as smooth as butter, or pretty much as fast as you can possibly imagine putting a roof on a mob farm could be. Probably took less than 30 seconds. Day 14, scratch that, I mean 41. We already have had day 14 quite a long time ago. I left the farm AFK for probably 10 minutes and nothing dropped, so I went over and tore the roof off of the mob farm and, well, okay, not all the way off, of course. I just basically made a bunch of skylights. Then I went over and crafted 1 stack of trapdoors and basically lined all of the trails of water basically with trapdoors. And basically the mobs see the trapdoors as full blocks, so they go over and just walk across it to get to the next platform like any other block, except it's not a block because it's open. Normally the mob's AI would make them so they try to avoid the hole in the ground, but with the trapdoors, well, the AI doesn't see the hole in the ground, so they just walk right over it. Day 42. On the start of day 42, due to a lack of mobs falling down, I decided to pillar up about 25 blocks above the farm, and that actually seemed to make mobs fall, which is good because I want mobs to fall, so it looks like I'm gonna have to AFK about 25 blocks off the ground, which makes sense because it goes over and pretty much takes all of the ground and under the ground caves out of the spawn radius. Also, apparently the creepers and mobs don't unalive when they fall. They actually have to land on spikes and then get damaged by the spikes before they're alive. So the spikes are actually needed because I didn't build it high enough.
Sleeping mode enabled.
On the morning of day 44, I harvested some more oranges. Then got right to work on trying to remove the safety water for building the mob farm. It turns out a lot of it turned into water sources, and not actual just random one block water blocks down. So it was a little bit harder than I was expecting to remove. The water elevator going up to the mob farm was a big mess, so I decided to remove it by scooping the water up into a bucket and letting it drain and putting the water back down to see what would happen. And I managed to make the water elevator just one block wide instead of about 37. Tree chopping, day 45. I got attacked by a whole bunch of pillagers and ended up getting the bad omen effect, which is not very ideal because I live right next to a village. And if I start a raid, that might be an issue because I don't think I can take a raid on at this current moment, especially because this is a mod pack called All the Mods 3 that has 280 mods, and one of those mods is bound to make it harder to actually fight the raids. I have been chopping a whole bunch of trees down so I can go over and do some terraforming, so maybe I could possibly build a house around here in the future. Day 46. Chop, 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 chop. 47 days. At this point I thought I did enough tree chopping, so I started lighting the entire area surrounding my little hole in the ground up. Then I mined one obsidian to make myself a obsidian shovel because my iron one is about to break, and I'm about to start doing a bunch of dirt mining. Day 48. Time to mine or dig dirt. Is it mine or dig? I guess technically it's a dig. Day 48. I filled up a small hole in the ground that actually is rather large, but still technically a small hole. Still mining dirt, even more digging. I dug for a surprising amount of time. I decided to try to build a staircase going up to the front door, and I came up with this. I also used some spruce paneling or something like that. I had never heard of that. Apparently it's a thing in the mod. It's basically a slab, but on its side. I like it. 50 days in, 50 more to go. Awesome. Still got bad omen. I planted and grew some peanuts, and then I decided to eat a peanut and see what it would taste like. And I don't know what it tastes like, but it gave me an extra heart, which is quite neat. I think I might keep growing them. Also, I'm not sure if it's an extra heart, it just looks like it. As you see down there, there is one heart. The first heart, basically, it's gold. So maybe that's some sort of saturation thing. That makes absolutely no sense because that should be in the hunger bar, not the heart bar. Also, whenever I harvest the crops, the rats go over and steal my food that I harvested off the ground before I can pick it up. I'm not sure how to train these rats so they don't do that, so I just keep on punching them whenever they do that and they run away, and then come back and do it again. You really thought that would be all the tree chopping, eh? No, you can't go a single day without me chopping down a tree in Minecraft, unless I'm under the ground mining. Day 51. Hey, don't steal my crops. I got tired of the rats coming in, so I decided to go over and make a fence around the farm. Now, in theory, it should stop the rats in Minecraft sense, but if it was in real life, they could just go under the fence. But in Minecraft, I don't think they can go under the fence, they can just go over it. But they can't go over it because it's not really a jumpable block. Hey, get out of here. Day 52. On the start of day 51, I decided to start working on an actual house instead of a hole in the ground shed. So I started just putting some wood down in some random places, and then started to put some cobblestone down here and there just to see what it would look like. Somehow I played Minecraft for an entire day and only got one layer of house built, so I went to bed to get on to day 52. In the morning of day 52, I had some fun with the builder's wand again, and built 3 layers on the house. Now, the builder's wand broke, and I ran out of cobblestone, which is a slight inconvenience. Then I went to go down to get some mining done to get some cobblestone, and I decided to make myself some rotten leather and then cook the rotten leather in the furnace into regular leather so I can later make an enchanting table. Day 53. In the morning of day 53, I went mining for some more cobblestone, and I ran across a couple of diamonds, which is quite nice. Then ran across some dimensional shard ore. I've never heard of that in my life, and it sounds very weird. So I decided to mine it and take it home. After a surprisingly fast mining session, it's now day 54. So yeah, let's go on to day 54. To start off the day 54, I went over and mined for some obsidian. To be exact, 7 obsidian for an enchanting table and a pickaxe. Hello and welcome to All the Mod 6 enchanting table. Where did I put you? How about under the ground in my basement? To start off day 55, I went over and started digging more skylights into the mob farm. Then I put 4 trapdoors in the chute going from the water canals all the way down to the spikes to maybe make the spiders go down because it's not collecting any spiders. After that, with all of my leather, I went over and made 3 bookcases. I can get a efficiency 1 enchantment. No thanks for now. Right after that, I ran down the staircase and started mining away as fast as I can with my obsidian pickaxe until it broke. I got quite a lot of cobblestone and I think it might be enough to do something with the house. I'm running out of things to say for the changes of the days. I don't know what do I say here. I have flown on to day 56 on a pigeon riding a rat. Yeah, that sounds right. Weirdness aside, I still like this builder's wand. It's really helping out building a lot. All of day 56, I was basically a villager going, what do I want to do here? And I decided to put some wood down, so that's nice. Also, the way I'm trying to go with this house is a little bit different than I normally do. I normally just toss everything into a box and then just kind of decorate the outside. This time, I'm making the box, but I'm making it different. And I'm also gonna be doing more decorating, and I'm taking a little bit of a house from Smallest Beans. If you know who he is, he's a YouTuber on YouTube, and I'm basically doing some of his type of design stuff, like how he designs his roof, or how he designs his walls. I'm basically doing that, but here. Then I went on a journey to find some more wood, but I decided, you know, I don't need any more wood, so I went back to the house. I planted a bunch of oak trees on the morning of day 60 because I am planning on using a bunch of oak for the roof of the house. Well, at least in theory I want to use oak. I want to use other blocks like stone and andesite, but I can't find those in the mine. On day 61, I went over and chopped a bunch of oak, then gave the cave a very good look around to see if I can find some andesite or granite or diorite, just any signs of those blocks, and I found none of them. In fact, I was in the mine looking for andesite so long, I went on to day 62. I spent an entire day sitting down in the mines looking for andesite. I also found this neat block that's between cobblestone and stone. Actually, it's crafted with stone and cobblestone mixed together, but I found this stone called Rocky Stone. I liked it, so I mined it. I mined a lot of it. Then I began working on the roof, and I'm not planning on doing a normal roof, which is just basically a triangle. I'm going to be building a triangle roof, except it's more steep in a way, if that makes any sense. So basically more steep, more than a 1 block jump, so you have to kind of pillar up to get to the next layer of roof. It's going to be quite interesting looking. It might be harder than you actually think it is to place downstairs when there is a block behind you and you're on top of a stair, because you barely have any room where you can click to place the block down. I gotta say, this build is testing my water bucket skills because I keep having to jump off the roof and put the water down before I hit the ground. It's quite hard and you have to get the timing right, which is not the best thing to do. I have failed it many times, but I am getting better at it slowly. Also, I am on to day 1 stack. Fun fact, not all stackable items in Minecraft stack up to 1 stack. A few stackable items max out at 16. For example, ender pearls and signs. In the afternoon of day 64, I went and pildered up with some sand and tore some more trees down. Late evening, on day 64, I went over and started working on the roof of the house. I decided to go with oak. After that, I fell into some water and went on to day 65. This is how I jumped off the roof and landed in the water, except this time it didn't work because I was moving too fast and couldn't right click in time. So instead, I touched the ground instead of touching the water first. Also, apparently with 2 bits of wood you can make some earplugs. They can actually help you with armor. They give you 1 armor bar, which is quite neat. After that, I went over and kept on building the interesting roof style, except this time I built it all the way from the front of the house to the back of the house and made the roof different sizes. Around noontime on day 65, the sun decided it wanted to start turning into a black hole. At least it looks like it. Either that or it's supposed to look like the hairline on my bedrock skin. Except it continuously got darker and darker and darker until it was nearly nighttime in the game. Then after that, it went and started getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And then it finally was nice and bright outside again. Why did that happen? I don't know. It was like a solar eclipse thing or whatever. And don't forget to not look at the sun in a solar eclipse like I was doing right here. I was totally not looking at the sun and continuously staring at it for about 5 minutes straight, wondering wondering what in the world is happening to the sky. Hello there, villagers, not today. Just kidding, I guess it is today. Gives me that bad omen, so I can keep it and have to worry about going towards the village for the next 1 hour or more. Good morning, day 66. Also, if you are enjoying this video so far, a sub would be absolutely phenomenal. On the morning of day 66, I decided to be a lumberjack and cut down some trees. When I mean some trees, I mean a lot of trees. I think I cut down about 20 or 30 trees. After that, I got right to work on the roof again. Ouch, my knees. After breaking my knees, I got right back to working on the roof. After that, I got right to work on building a floor with the Better Buildings wand. It actually went by quite fast, like everything related with the Better Buildings wand. On day 67, I woke up. Then got right to work on building a new floor on the house. Right after putting the walls up, I put the ceiling on. Right after putting the ceiling on, I decided to put a window frame on, to put the roof sort of like a mushroom around the window frame. Then I realized quickly that the side of the house was not high enough. I wanted it to be like a tower, not like a house. So I tore the window frames back down and built up higher. But before I could build up higher, I realized something. You need cobblestone to build a house made of cobblestone, because what else would you build a cobblestone house out of? So I went mining for some more cobblestone. Then for a few minutes, I went over and got distracted by looking for hammers, because I know there's a hammer mod in some version of Minecraft where it can break, let's say, a 3x3 hole or a 5x5 hole or a 10x10 hole. I don't know if the hammer's even in the mod, but I looked for it anyway. Good afternoon, morning 68. There was a mining machine that uses a ore that you can only find in any type of ocean, so I mined over to the closest ocean and mined for that ore. What is the ore called? Well, I don't know off the top of my head. But then I came across this weird ore. It is called Stella Arcanum. It apparently needs a diamond pickaxe to be mined, so I mined it and it almost unalived me because it blew up. Ore literally blew up. How? Why? I don't know, but yes, ore literally blew up right in front of me when I mined it. Right after that, I found a weird prismarine ocean monument mineshaft thingamabobber. It had a chest with a whole bunch of goodies in it. I don't know what the goodies are, but it has a whole bunch of goodies, so I grabbed it all and went back home with it. And yes, I actually did tear the window frame down. Right after that, I went over and used the fresh, specially mined cobblestone for the next room / floor of the house. It was amazingly fast to do because of the builder's wand. And yet again, the Better Building wand came to the rescue with building the ceiling. I'm a lumberjack again. I got to say, this is starting to take some shape. What a nice view from up here. This time I rebuilt the window sills out of logs instead of planks. I went to bed to get on to day 70, and apparently I got an achievement called Swimming with the Drowned Miners. Very interesting name, I gotta say. Right after that, I started working on the roof, and I was planning on making some sort of mushroom roof like I said earlier, but I ended up just making a standard square roof. Triangle. Not sure why, but I did. Not sure if I like it either, but I will just use it for now. Not sure why I bleeped out the word square, but whatever, I did anyway. Here is the smallest ever montage on Earth or on YouTube of making a roof. There, it's done. And there, the roof is done as well. Give me more oranges. Right after finishing the roof, I went over and started filling in the holes inside the roof, so it looks a little bit better, and I decided to go over and use spruce for this. I think that looks good. Day 70. I think that looks rather good. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. That looks even better. It seems my day counter was lagging behind. We're on to day 73 now. On day 73 and 74, I was streaming. That's why everything looks a little bit weird right now. But I didn't really do anything on those days besides walk around. Then I decided to cover my entire front yard in large spruce trees. Apparently mega spruce trees put podzol down everywhere, so I decided to go over and cover the surrounding area. I want to plant a tree and cobblestone to see if it would not go and spread the podzol further than the cobblestone, and it turns out that doesn't work. One way or another, I had to chop down a whole bunch of trees to get myself more wood, so these mega spruce trees helped out quite a lot with that. At the end of day 75, I used some of that wood and covered in some parts of the roof. I think that looks pretty good. On the morning of day 76, I did some work on the roof and tried to make it look a little bit better. That looks incredibly odd. I spent an entire day working on the roof roof, and it looks like I almost did nothing. So it took me on to day 77, and also shout out to DocM77 because his name has 77 at the end of it, because why not? On day 77, I did more roofing than I did on day 76, but I still did about an entire day of roofing. That does not look right. Okay, I think that I have done it. It looks better now. On the evening of day 77, I started working on the bigger part of the tower, trying to make it look a little bit better. I would say that looks a little bit better. I didn't like the roof I built on the tower, so I ripped it all the way down, and I rebuilt it better. But you have to give me a few minutes before you can tell if it's better or not, because it's not built yet. Instead of the tower just having a regular triangle roof, I went over and made the roof different, sort of like the other parts of the house. Most of day 78 was putting wood down and building a roof. Time to jump, and I made it. To finish off day 78, I finished off the roof. Late morning on day 79, I went over and started mining some trees, or chopping some trees to be exact. Day 80. Fun fact, day 80 is more than day 79, or 80 is more than 79. I decided to plant a whole bunch more mega spruce trees because I need a lot more logs, to be exact, spruce logs. Then I got right to work on the tower trying to make it look better again. This time I'm working on the top room, trying to make it look a little bit better. Here is a complete random clip from day 80. At the end of day 80, I went over and started making a design in one of the little areas holding the roof up. On the morning of day 81, I was still decorating because, well, I wanted to make it look nice. Still decorating. I picked up a flower that's black and got the achievement, Sky of Beginning. To finish off day 81, I did some roofing. What do people now say? Is it Pog or something? Or is it Burr? Yeah, something like that. My roof now looks Pog Burr. I keep thinking of these weird looking boots called slime boots, and I was wondering what would happen if I crafted them. It says it would make you bounce, but does it bounce or does it just stop you from utterly unaliving, from hitting the ground? So I decided I should probably set off on a mission and craft them. Luckily, at the local village there is a slime island, and if you don't know, slime island spawns slime. I was planning on pillaring up to the top of the island, so I decided I should go over and cover the surrounding ground area in water so I don't end up falling off and unaliving on it by getting hit off by a slime. But after all that water placing, it made me tired, so I went to bed to get on to day 83. On the morning of day 83, I did more water placing, because why not? I placed down a lot of water until I realized that a slime fell down and was ransacking the local village. So I ran over there and took the slime on. It seems to be a rather speedy slime. From that one slime, I got 13 slime balls. Then I decided to go and craft the boots, which is quite easy because it only uses 2 slime blocks, which is made out of 4 slime each, so that'd be 8 slime in total, plus 2 extra slime, which would be 10. So I have way more than I need, because I only need 10 slime balls. Then I decided to do a test by pillaring up 20 blocks with the slime boots on and jumping off, to see if I would either go splat and survive with about 2 hearts, or would I go over and bounce to take no damage. Somehow I went over and bounced around and took no damage, which is amazing. With my slime boots on, I decided to go over and pillar up and see what the top of the island looks like, and it turns out there is a pond and a tree here, which is quite interesting to say the least. I didn't chop the tree down, though I probably should have, just to see what kind of sapling it drops. Also, somehow a wandering trader and a slum spawned up here. Also, I came across this chest that had a whole bunch of stuff in it that I've never seen before, so I decided to go over and take absolutely everything inside of it. Then I went to bed and got squashed by this huge slime, so I had to get up and get rid of it. Good morning, day 84. After I got home, I was curious what the best protection level I could use for my armor is, and apparently it's protection Vi, or protection 8. I wanted to make a bookshelf, and I realized something. You don't make bookshelves out of leather and wood. You make bookshelves out of books and wood, instead of just leather and wood, so I had to make myself some books. I don't know how I managed to make that mistake. Perfect. This plague doctor decided it wanted to go over and steal a flower of mine. At the end of day 84, I did some more roofing. Then I went to bed with a nice view of the sunset in the horizon. reason. On the morning of day 85, I went over and started tearing out the grass floor in my house because I want to replace it with something else. No, this definitely ain't gonna work. I think I'm gonna tear this up and try something else. But first, it's time to start cutting down more trees because I want to help out with climate change and fix it. And cutting trees down is the correct thing to do. Totally. I wasn't sure how much wood I would need, so I cut down a bunch of trees. Then I began putting the floor in, and I decided to go over and use spruce logs for the floor. And I gotta say, if this was oak or something like birch, it would take a lot longer to do because those trees you can only get about 5 logs per tree. Unlike spruce and jungle trees where you have mega trees, which give you probably about a stack and a half of wood. Then I ran into an issue where my axe decided it wanted to be no more and broke, so I had to go down and mine for some more obsidian to get myself another axe. I must say though, the obsidian tools are actually quite amazing, even though they are actually almost slower than iron it feels at times. I also decided to use my enchanting table for the second time, and I went over and enchanted my axe with efficiency 1 because I didn't really have any better option to go with besides unbreaking, and it works exactly how it did before, which is perfect, except it's a tiny bit faster. After I tore this entire spruce tree down, the cutting edge was just as sharp as it was before. Then I decided to start working on the interior, in the area of building some rooms. You wouldn't believe it if you didn't see it, but I'm using the Better Buildings One again for building the ceiling/next floor out of slabs. That was somehow incredibly hard to say. I also put some stairs down. Oh, come on! Really? You put that down backwards, me? Fine, okay, there, that looks better. From the dawn of day to late evening on day 88, I was looking through the inventory of what I can actually make modded-wise, because I have not really messed with the mods yet. Ooh, that's a shiny tool, though I don't know how to make it, and I don't even know how to get that material that it uses to be made. Then I found this weird looking storage upgrade thing. It has 2 obsidian and some sticks and some sort of other storage thing it's made out of, so I decided to go over and craft it. But before I craft it, I have to get myself some obsidian. But before I got myself some obsidian, I decided to finally take a look at the book the game gave me. At the start of this entire world, it only took me 89 days to take a glance at it. Obsidian mining time again! Hello there, storage upgrade, you're gonna be used, hopefully. Guess what, if you play all the mod 6, you probably know what I'm about to say, but I couldn't just place the storage upgrade down on the ground. Then I thought maybe I could just somehow right click it onto a chest or something like that, and it would upgrade a chest. So I did so, and guess what? Well, like I said earlier, if you play all the mod 6, you already know this, but it didn't work. Then I decided to try one more time and craft something else from the mod that looks like it might be actually the container. It is called Compacting Dwarves. Hey, it stole my wood! I stuck my storage upgrade inside of it and I pressed a button and my storage upgrade completely disappeared, just vanished from existence. I don't know where it went, but I never got it back. Then I decided to stick a stack of dirt in there to see what it would do, and it seems to hold it. Then I proceeded to feed it all of my dirt just to see what it would do. It seems to have a option to compress my dirt if I want. I don't know why I would, but I can if I want. Maybe it's if I go over and mine a whole bunch of dirt and end up with so much I don't have anywhere to store. That might be the reason, but that's interesting to say the least. Then I figured out how to give all of my dirt to the storage crate box thingy, pretty much completely automatically. I went over and harvested some more oranges. I don't think I've actually eaten a single piece of meat in this entire playthrough. I should just name this video, I survived 100 days as a vegetarian in Minecraft. On the morning of day 91, I built a small little wall to make a small little kitchen or something along that line. Then I replaced this makeshift cobblestone staircase with a wooden staircase that is as well makeshift, except not as makeshift as the cobblestone staircase. I think I will put a window here. I was curious, so I looked, and apparently there is no totem of undying that I can craft, which is slightly unfortunate, but I don't really need it. Well, at least yet. I wanted some leather, so I took down this passing zombie, and I got some rotten flesh for some leather. One more rotten leather to my name. Right after that, I headed off on a super long journey, about 30 seconds long, to get to the closest beach, so I can steal some sand from it, so I can make some windows. Interesting, I found a tropical garden, and I wondered what it would give me, and it gave me some ginger. I'm not sure what ginger is for in this game, but you know, I got ginger anyway. I bet you don't got ginger in your Minecraft world. Sorry, I had to do that. I know that wasn't my style, but you know, I just couldn't resist. I dug quite a bit of sand. That mythical cyan flower looks quite neat. Time to meltify some sand into glass. Hello, 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 window. Hello, other 1 by 1 by 1 by 1 window. On the morning of day 93 or 39, depending on how you read it, I went over and made some windows. Get out of here, dirt block, you're supposed to be logs. Then I got right to doing some decorating on the outside. To be exact, putting some logs around to add some depth to the tower. I think this will look pretty good. Hello, over there, I see you through my brand new windows. Glass panes. On the end of day 94, I filled in some big windows at the top of the tower, and I used the Better Buildings wand for it, because I don't like placing down glass panes by hand because I keep placing them down wrong. Most people want to have a nice window view of an ocean or some mountains, and I want a nice view of my roof, because who would want a view of the roof? Not anyone but me. On day 95, I actually installed quite a few windows. I actually installed more than a few. I probably installed nearly a dozen windows. This is all turning out pretty good, except there's one problem. There's a quite big mess on the roof, as you see there. I cannot let that stay there. I need to get rid of that and make it look better. But the rest of the house, I think, is starting to take pretty good shape, and it's starting to look pretty good, to say the least. Also, turns out the slime boots are a little bit too bouncy at times. As you see here, it bounced me right off the roof and onto the ground. But luckily, I didn't take any damage, which is good. On the morning of day 96, guess what I did? You wouldn't believe it. I did more window replacing. I was curious, so I stuck an orange in the squeezer to see if it would squeeze the orange and give me some more juice, and it seems it doesn't do anything. Then I went over and looked, and apparently I could make some sort of little crank for the squeezer, at least I think so. So I made myself a crank, and guess what? It did absolutely nothing. Then I decided to get right to work on building a fence around my entire house. The reason why is because I don't want mobs to be entering my house, or anything else to be entering, so I decided I should just put a fence around it and stop anything, besides probably spiders, because spiders can climb walls, but anything besides that should not be able to enter, which is nice. I made the wall out of spruce fences. The wall is actually quite a lot larger than I was expecting to build it, but that is just a bigger safe area, which is nice. Interesting, I ran across a oak tree with maple fruit logs. Nothing else on the leaves, just weird looking logs, so that's interesting to say the least. I'm not going to cut it down, I'm just going to leave it right where it is. I was about 5 spruce fences short from the entire fence being complete, and then I didn't have any spruce wood left, so I had to go over and cut down another tree to get myself some more spruce wood. Get off of here, plague doctor. And perfect, a complete fence is now around my entire property, which is nice. I gotta say though, this place is starting to look pretty good. Oh yeah, day 99, which is 1 away from 100, which is interesting to say the least. Day 99, I went over and replaced some cobblestone blocks with some gravel and rocky stone to see if I can add some texturing into the walls. I did quite a lot of texturing the walls, but I didn't have the blocks I wanted to use. For example, I didn't have some andesite and stuff along that line, because that would make the walls look just a bit better. Now, I didn't have quite enough time to go over and melt stone, so I didn't add any stone into the walls, but it looks at least good for now. I think a window will work perfectly right here. How does this look? I can't really see the house at all because there is a tree in the way. Go away, tree. You too, oak tree. After I cut that one last oak tree down, I went to bed to get on to day 100 to see what I could do on day 100. I couldn't think of anything besides going over and posing right next to the rats and my house just for a nice thumbnail image. And there, I survived 100 days. I think I did quite well for never playing all the mod 6 before, nor really playing any mods before.